guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun wide trip sweep. Pros X go. On one. Ready?
Right.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is the Mattstergamer here, and today we're going to be talking about shotgun bunch wheels. There's 3 of them. You have 2 for the tight end, technically 2 for the running back, but one of them isn't a big a deal. So let's get right into it. The first thing you're going to want to do is come out in dollar. Personally, it's the defense I like to stop wheels the most. It gives me the most amount of options. I can do a lot from it. Now, one thing I want you guys to keep in mind as we go through these different adjustments, not every single adjustment is going to stop every single wheel perfectly. Some of them are very good at stopping their wheel. Some of them can pick off their wheel. Sometimes they won't, which you could argue is actually good because it will force your opponent to throw it sometimes and he'll just get picked and not know why. But the point is that one defense won't stop every wheel. You're going to have to run the right defense against the right plays. So here are those adjustments. So the first wheel we're going to talk about is the mesh spot tight end wheel. This one on the right side of the field. And on defense, what we're going to do is we're going to come out in cover 2 sink. And all we're going to do right now is just put the right slot defender in a bluff blitz, and then we're going to shade outside. So I'll show you guys the difference between shading outside, not outside, but first let's do outside. So you see how that window really tightens up? Now let me show you guys what it looks like without shade outside, because that is very important. He's nowhere near. So yes, we were still able to complete the pass with the shade outside. I know that. Unfortunately, this has been the best I've seen. Now, because it holds that window, if you're able to send pressure, so what I'd say about this play in particular is I want to send 5 off this side and just do something really simple like this. I think you could even spy if you're doing this right. So you get some pressure in to kind of force that earlier window because it does sit in a really nice spot in that earlier window. So again, going back to shade outside, he gets underneath, and now you have the pass picked off. You're not going to have him cover the entire play. It's just not going to happen, unfortunately. But it does a really nice job of actually getting to the outside where the normal shade on that bluff blitz will not. And again, I want to reiterate, it is a vertical hook being bluff blitzed, shading outside. If it's a blitzer, you're going to get a different zone in the bluff blitz. If it's cover 3, you're going to get a different zone. You can't change him to a vert hook and then bluff blitz him. It needs to be a stock vertical hook. And again, shade outside for this play. Now let's take a look at the other tight end wheel, which in my opinion is easier to defend. So typically, again, you see verticals run like this. Here's how we're going to stop it. Same exact thing, just don't shade outside. So you'll see right here, no shade. And here's what happens. Personally, I found this to be the easiest wheel in the game to defend because of this. This fully takes away the wheel. It does for an extended amount of the play. Very different than the last wheel. So let's take another look. Let me try throwing it in that later window like I did before. Oh, I just ran the wrong play. Whoops. Let's throw that away. Go down. There we go. So one thing I will recommend is because there's so much AP on defense, just get acrobats everywhere. That's helped me for sure with these wheels. So now I'll throw this wheel at a later window. And you'll see that even kind of at later windows, there's no room to throw it now. This does a really good job at taking away the verticals tight end wheel, and it's definitely my favorite wheel to defend for this very reason. So now let's take a look at maybe how we defend this play. So looking at verticals, something that I've been doing, just to give you the full play defense, is doing this bluff blitz, and then switching this to a cover 3 on this side. So let's get it going. There we go. Putting a hard flat from this left outside defender. And typically I like to use flat zone KOs. So with the flat zone KO and a hard flat, it's really going to do a good job of taking away this wheel route. And then we just have to user guard this crosser. So as you can see, the wheel's being taken away, and now it's just the crosser. It's as simple as that for stopping verticals, in my opinion. However, you do have to be running that defense, or else you're still going to run into plenty of trouble because it's a very good play. Now taking a look at inside cross, just to finish it off, the best way I found of dealing with this wheel is definitely incomplete. This is one of the harder wheels to defend, and it's going to be by bluff blitzing this left DN. So for some reason, this makes a difference in the way players match, and I'd say probably 50% of the time, this outside, or sorry, not outside, but the slot corner on the running back side gets in a really nice spot to play this wheel. Not right there. He just jumps it. That's a low ball passing side, throwing on the break as you're supposed to. I mean, sure, there might be some windows later in the plays, but again, right now, we're just trying to work with what we can do, and that's pick off that pass. And as you can see, if you wait, it's the same thing, right? I will say, I've done this, and it's been thrown at me, and it's been caught. That has happened. Wheels in this game are kind of crazy, and sometimes players get bumped and weird things happen, but this adjustment does a really good job at taking this away. I don't know why this happens, to be fully honest, but when you bluff blitz at the end, the corner matches and sits inside. It's kind of weird. I will say also that it does a good job against the verticals wheel as well. If you maybe don't have flat zone KO or whatever's working just isn't enough, this typically does a really good job against this wheel also. As you can see, there's really no room to just snap throw it. That's really it for the bunch wheels. You can talk about this outside wheel, but honestly, that's what the cover 3 is for. It's just going to destroy cover 2 almost no matter what. But yeah, that's basically it. That's 4 different wheels now that we have defense for. Again, keep in mind that your bluff blitz vert hooks need to be stock vert hooks. And again, that the mesh spot tight end wheel you want to shade outside for. Really quickly, because I didn't touch on it before, is I just want to mention that if you do shade outside and they call it verticals instead, it is worse. You can't just get away with shading outside, but at times he will still do a good job. So I don't want to say that you can't get caught shading outside, but it's definitely not as good as a stock for verticals. But if you had to lean one of the two, lean shade outside is personally what I would recommend.